Chainmail. My name's Sean. I run MailleWerX.com, and I was watching TikTok. Alright, let's see here. Some many notifications. That's what I'm looking for. There. No, right post. There we go. Some. All right. Okay, where are we at here? Turn Frank on so you can see what I'm working on. I have got some good news. I think I'm going to be able to make a camera purchase here in a little bit. Pretty happy about that. I'm very satisfied with the secondhand microphone I got from my friend. It works wonderfully. The camera, despite the modifications that have been made to it, are a little less desirable. So definitely got to find some way to improve that. Alright, now I do have one of these that has to be completely redone. That shouldn't take but a minute. I'm laying all these out, trying to figure out what's what. This one, is this even long enough? This one doesn't feel long enough. What's going on with this one? Oh, okay. So this is the backwards one. Make sure all the rest of these fit correctly. I don't know how I got it backwards, but I sure did. And it looks like it's the only one. Knock on wood. Hopefully it's the only one. Alright, there's half one. So, with Trinity, I have found that the juggling balls I made, slide this to the side, they are not round, right? I think someone said that they were icosahedrons, right? They're kind of, what do you call it, oval shaped. All right, all these seem to be correct. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. This is number 8, and we'll finish that up here in a little bit. First things first, though, before we get all this started, did I just do that? Did I just mix all these up again? 4 5 6. Yeah, okay, okay. This is the one that's off. Keep that one separate. Alright. Turn the hat on backward for serious work. Before... This is not the ring I want. Alright, so I am short one square wire ring. I'm okay with. And it's not the 3/16 that I'm short the 1/4 inch one. So I do have a 1/4 inch ring here, and we're just gonna use that to close up this end. Oh man, what a mess. Of course I can't get it back out now. So the juggling balls, they're not round, which I'm okay with. I don't juggle. This was really just an experiment to see if I could. Not juggle, but make juggling balls. Make something useful out of what I have laying around, instead of just another dice bag. So it's an interesting lesson to learn, right? That in order to make a round juggling ball out of Trinity, I'll kind of show you what you have to do. You would have to take these triangles, right? And you would have to stop the angle wherever you wanted, right? And extend it out straight from here. Okay? I hope that makes sense. So you would have a triangle with a portion of a rectangle on it. Some length straight out from this. So this, where it's 6 rows wide, you'd have a few more rows of just 6 rows, right? And the 4-in-1 seam that you use to connect the triangles would continue down that straight line, right? So you'd have seams all the way around. Which I thought that, you know, it's neat that it can be done. Am I gonna take all these apart and go back and figure out what is the correct length to make a perfectly round juggling ball out of Trinity? No, I am not. All right, that rings. Ooh. That's in there. That's done. Let's make this other side. Where are my extra rings? I love finding these. This is an empty Hillshire Farms container, and what it means is that I have finished off something. Not sure what was in that. Here's another, an empty bag. I love having empty bags and storage stuff to put aside for other projects later on. That means that I've progressed. I have progressed in my desire to use up all the rings I have in the basement on random stuff before I start buying rings for a purpose again. Of course, that was totally the goal. That totally didn't happen, right? I did have to delve off into buying specific rings for the bracelets, the bracelet project, right? That's been going on. That's been going well, actually. I just made all of the money that I put into them back, and then some. I have a picture where I have about 12 of them that are completed, and they are off to their new home. And then I sold a bunch of other stuff that I've had laying around. Right, so I did order rings for that project because these are very specific ring sizes used for these bracelets, and I'm still trying to figure out what ring works best with what beads. So that way when people ask me, I have a answer. I have an answer. So I'm pretty happy with that part of the project. Now I just got to start selling some beads. And then I need to make lots of money so I can have my own beads designed. There's a couple that I want made. These are die cast beads, right? So I would love more options. We'll get there. Fatality. We will get there. One step at a time. The first step is to figure out what ring sizes work well with what beads, right? And in what weaves. And I'm largely just sticking with Byzantine for these. And people can buy them. Hey, Rick. You gonna order some beads? Sweet. I am really excited about what people come up with. Right? And then, speaking of the man himself, I need to send him a couple of these buckle clasps to see if he can laser engrave my logo onto this little spot right here. And he and I are gonna, that's a huge opportunity for or rather, I think that's a huge opportunity that a lot of people would be interested in having done. So, I don't know if, how many people own lasers. But, you know, it's difficult to mark your logo on a piece of work for chainmail, right? It really is. I think that this is a really good way. Come on. And I hope it works. That would be spectacular. Alright, actually, Rick, if you're watching, and I assume you are because you just commented, in here. Here we go. With a laser, I'm curious, right? How small can we go? Right? Would you be able to engrave on something that small? If you don't know off the top of your head, I'll send you these too and you can try. It's all about experimenting. The downside of experimenting is that it's expensive. The upside of experimenting is that if you find the right key elements to a project, you end up making something a lot of people really want, and you can sell it for a high price, which is what I'm attempting to do. Come on. Dang it, Bobby. Comes down to the width of his laser. How big is that area? Should be able to. How big is the area? A couple of millimeters. It's about 4 millimeters by 10. It's pretty small. It can get small enough where it's almost hard to read without a magnifier. I don't know how to convert millimeters to quarter to inches. I don't know. It's okay if you can't. We can try it. Come here. Anyway, just something fun. See, now I would love just to have a bunch of buckle clasps on bracelets with my logo on them, right? 1/4 inch equals 6.35 millimeters. Are you used to working with millimeters with the laser? All right. No, I do not have those for sale yet. I'm still trying to figure out. I haven't even moved on to this part of the project, right? This requires a whole other order of rings. These are designed for curb chain, right? And so I'm gonna try to figure out like what's a real good size to go. Unfold, you little. right? So we'll have a half Persian chain between the star of the piece, right? And then this little clasp here. And I will do it the same way I did with the Byzantine and take it from one size and graduate it down to the right size. So, no, I have not even yet begun to figure these ones out. Got a pretty good handle on the buckle clasp so far, what ring sizes work with them. As far as Byzantine goes. And I've still got to flesh out all the information on my website for them. So, it's a work in progress. I'm just happy to have some of the stuff up and available in the store right now. That's a big part of getting that done. Now I've got to find time to sit down and finish putting everything else, all the little beads in the store and stuff. Excuse me. Facebook keeps pausing me. That's no good. I don't have any reported issues. Jesus. I think I'd start doing this yesterday. So, yeah, hop on Twitch. Let me know if it keeps pausing me. It's the same problem on Twitch. That's a problem. I cannot, I had this computer hardlined in through electrical outlets. Then I had to hardline in a different system, and I can't run that system while streaming. So I moved this to a Wi-Fi extender, and it was working. So I don't know what's going on. Is anybody else having glitching issues? Alright, no problems on Twitch? Sweet. That's something. Man, these go together quick. I was gonna make a whole video about putting these together and everything, and I have not had the time, and I'm tired of delaying the finishing of this project. So I'll make a video of me attempting to juggle glow-in-the-dark juggling balls in the dark, and I can't juggle, so should be fun. The Twitch is working fine, but the Facebook feed is funky. See, don't ask me. I don't know. My Facebook has been screwy for 2 weeks now. So, I'm really beginning to hate them as a platform. I mean, I'm not particularly fond of Facebook, the institution in general, right? But as a platform, it's really just a pain in my ass. I was using a descriptive term to discuss a certain individual. Not inaccurate term, just not a kind one. And it was not directed towards the person that I was speaking with. And Facebook said, this looks like other examples of bullying that we found. I'm like, well, you know, I am being pretty derogatory towards the individual I'm talking about, but I'm not bullying the person I'm talking to. But of course, you can like delete comment or ignore the warning. And it's like, all right, well, I don't need any account issues, so any more than the ones I already have. Because for some reason, 2 weeks ago, on stream, everything was working fine before then, and then immediately following the stream, I did not have a single reaction to a single post almost for the next 2 weeks, right? And haven't. And I didn't post anything today to see if it was over. But, like, all of a sudden, for some reason, nobody was seeing anything I was posting. So I've avoided posting any of my work except on my business page. Anyway, it's just a headache, and I have no idea what we discussed on that stream. That was so, what do you call it, taboo, that Facebook decided to lock up my account. But the streams, people seemed to find the streams. So I don't know what the deal with that is. Like, I can go live, but people can't read what I post. I don't know. And it was, I know that I mentioned the big nationwide trial, or the big trial here that had gained national interest. It involved a kid with the initials K and R. And so I don't know if that was the issue. If talking and mentioning that individual's name was the issue, or what. Alright, so we've got these 7 pieces together. We got to remake this one. So I'm just going to take it all apart. And we'll start over. And actually, you know what? Because it's right this way. Okay, never mind. That would take too much to think, right? I made it the wrong direction, and I'm not 100% certain how I did that. All I know is that it doesn't match up with all the rest of the triangles, right? So, whatever. There's another. So, okay, so Kenosha, Wisconsin's been, like, I'm not keen on all the national interest we've garnered, right? There was a police shooting last year that led to, you know, some very peaceful protests that had a bunch of smoldering buildings. And that's where the event surrounding the trial that was mentioned happened. And now we've got this guy that decided to run into a parade, which is just awful. And that's not Kenosha, that's Waukesha, but still, it's like... Knight Rider? Yeah, that guy. Knight Rider, that's funny. Okay, so I've got to be careful how these are affixed, I guess. I shouldn't have to be, but up until a certain point, it shouldn't matter. Then we have this another young teenager who people seem to start having a lot of sympathy because of the way her story is, the way they find out about her story initially, right? She claims to be a victim of sex trafficking and she was not with this current, how to say it, accused sex trafficker, and I'm pretty sure that it's pretty verified that he did engage in that behavior. I don't know one way or the other, but I've met this person. I don't particularly care for her. And there is a whole lot of detail that goes along with her story that all these people that are sympathizing with her don't even realize, right? Now, if what she claims is true, then, you know, she has my sympathy, and I kind of feel like she did the right thing by ridding the world of a disgusting human being, right? Like, I don't have a problem with that. The thing I take issue with is how she went about doing it, right? So, I'll tell you what happened. As far as I understand it, I'm not Sherlock Holmes. Don't hold me to this, but I was working at the jail while she was there. And, from what I understand, she no longer lived with this person, right? So, like, her claim of escaping sex trafficking is immediately suspect. She traveled to this person's house, killed him, stole his money, lit his house on fire, stole his car, and then proceeded to live stream about it. Now, I don't particularly have a problem with any of these things. You know, if he's guilty of what she says, okay, you know, the world got better, right? But it really sounds like a robbery that went wrong. More so than it does what she's claiming, right? Like, don't quote me on this, but I remember there being a discussion of a bunch of text messages talking about how she had planned this out, right? So it's not like a crime of passion thing. It's like, I've only lived in Kenosha for 6 years, yet I've met in the riots last year, the little bald guy, I'm not mentioning names for a reason, the little bald guy that got shot first, I met him. He was in jail while I worked there, right? I've met this other girl I'm talking about. Where I live has made national news multiple times now. I'm just saying, it's a bit unsettling. So, and with this particular young female, like I said, I don't particularly believe her, and I don't particularly care for her. She was very difficult, to say the least. You know, and you know, she's a young teenager. Maybe it's a crime of passion. Maybe she's telling the truth. I'm not saying that she's not. I'm just saying that I've met her and I don't believe her. Based on a bunch of stuff that I was rumored to be true while I was working at the jail, right? So, like, there's a reason she hasn't got off on a self-defense appeal. Why her first self-defense appeal didn't go through, right? Her second one did, I guess, and now she's going to be allowed to submit proof that she was trafficked. And, you know, if that's the case, that's all well and good with me. That's fine, right? I want the right thing to come to pass. But I just get irritated at people that are like, oh, we need to support this person. And I'm like, no, we don't. Not too particularly keen on that. Here's another okay. Another national story was there was a kid who had a friend drive him to his girlfriend's house, and then think he was like 15. He then shot his girlfriend, killed her, and attempted to shoot the mom. The mom survived, identified him, right? He denied it, but the person who had dropped him off didn't stick around, right? Like that wasn't part of their plan. They were just dropping him off and they left. And he rode a bike. I think it was his bike that he had placed there beforehand, home. Hey Peg, how you doing? I'm in rare form tonight. Hope it's entertaining. So he rides his bike home after shooting the mom, right? And of course he got caught, right? And I've met him. He was recently sentenced. I think he got life in prison. Right? And it's like, it's surreal. I didn't work at the jail for very long. There are, you know, stuff happens like this all over, but it just feels like a lot of it happens where I live, and I don't know if I'm particularly comfortable with that. For the most part, like, Kenosha's not a great town. Dealing with your math house, the big Waukesha massacre. Peg, I meant to text you. Did any of your family or friends get hurt? Oh my gosh, yeah. One of my Facebook, I'll call them my Facebook friend. They are friends with me on Facebook. I do not personally know this person, right? I'm friends with a lot of people I don't personally know. I think I don't personally know everyone watching. But I've spoken with many of you. I don't think I've ever text messaged this person. But I am friends with them on Facebook, and their nephew got hit and was in surgery. The last comment I saw on it, that he was doing well and had gotten through surgery and was doing okay. But it's just like, yeah, that's another one of those things where it's like, nobody you knew was at the parade. Okay, thank goodness. It's another thing that's just like surreal, right? Like, I know people that this happened to. Holy crap. It's weird, man. Weird, I tell you. I'm gonna put this in. I'll put it in afterwards. I don't think I have any other friends in the Waukesha area. Hey, babe. It's just surreal knowing that all of that has happened so close to me. It's all been, national news, and makes me question where I live. It's like, what is going on with this place? All right, I gotta take some clothes off. Do I have one? Oh, never mind. Oh, it's getting a little warm. I will just have to suffer. I've just got a undershirt on. Anyway. So, I'm kind of dumbfounded, because I haven't been, aside from standing out in my garage with a gun last year, in full view of everyone, along with all of my neighbors. Hey, Barb. Aside from that, I haven't really been personally affected by what's gone on. Thank God. But I have met and know so many people who have. And it's It's all tangential. It all makes me feel just a bit uneasy. It's fine though. This is fine. Everything's fine. Alright. Now we're getting somewhere. Button these up real quick. If I remember correctly, if I take this out, it's a lot easier to attach these two. So yeah, what went on in Waukesha was just nuts, man, and awful, and I can't even begin to imagine what those people are going through up there. The Sean striptease, Facebook might not like that. I'd take my sweater off, but I just don't have like a regular shirt on underneath. I have just a what do you call it? Just a white undershirt. All right, that's done. All right, now we've got to count. There should be 48 rings all the way around. In order to get the edge to lay flat with Trinity, I often put the edge over the edge of whatever I'm working on. Right? Because it's a lot easier than sitting there and fighting it, trying to get it to lay down the way you want. So hands hurting from clipping pounds of stainless, going to kick back and weave some 22 gauge and capture some more tiny jewels. Very nice. They held a vigil tonight at the park across the street from you. Had to park in a church parking lot to get home, then moved your car after they opened up the street. Yeah. Alright. Cross your fingers, hope for 48. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 8, 9, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 48. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 20, 22, 23, 24, 5, 6, 7, 8, 34, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 2, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 6, 4, 7, 48. Right on. Alright, now we gotta line up some seams. And then make the third juggling ball. Okay. Okay, there's the end of that one. Alright. Got my starting point marked. And we'll just zip this up all the way around. Phone is beeping. I'm hoping, I really am hoping, that everything that's gone on, like that's it for a while. Kenosha, the city of, can stay out of the news for a while. I mean, they've still got plywood up from last year, right? I think because nobody knew when the trial was going to happen, they just left it up. A couple people got rowdy outside the courthouse last couple of days, but I don't know. I don't think anything happened. I know there were a couple of arrests, but nothing serious, so. Like, it's cold outside. I'm not real worried about anything going on. Hopefully, we will have a peaceful rest of the year. So, I had a pretty good day today. Went and saw my little cerebral palsy patient, my muscular dystrophy patient, and one of my patients was at the doctor, so I didn't have to see them. My next patient is this very non-compliant lady with really bad eczema to her lower extremities. She seems to think that we need to soak her legs in soapy water, and that is somehow going to help. And she refuses to put on the steroid cream that her doctor has recommended. And it is just a recommendation. We are trying to get clarification on this recommendation. Is it in order? It doesn't matter if it's in order because the patient's not going to comply with it anyway, right? So we called the doctor's office, and this is her primary physician, and they said, well, we don't know if we can write that. You need to check with her infectious disease doctor. So we call her infectious disease. They said, well, we don't know if that's really what we want to do. You need to contact her wound care doctor. We call her wound care doctor. Well, we can't really make any recommendations without seeing the patient. So she has an appointment, you know, on such date and time. It's a few days away. Like, all right. Go back and tell the patient all of this, and the patient is insistent that we soak her legs in soapy water, which really seems to be a contributing cause of her severe bilateral lower extremity eczema. And she doesn't want to hear it. She wants what she wants. And it's like, well, we're not going to do that without orders. And we really need clarification on how we are supposed to be treating this. But she doesn't want to listen to anybody, and that's okay. You don't have to listen to me. But I do have to operate under with doctor's orders in order to do my job, right? And that, I don't make exceptions for that for people and just do whatever they want. That's how you lose your license. Excuse me. So that was a fun, unnecessarily long meeting with my patient. And then I got notified that I had to go check a PICC line for another nurse, and the patient was freaking out, right? He has a PICC line. and I don't know this nurse. They're new to our company. But the patient was upset, wanted another nurse to come out and check. And I get out there. So this is like at the end of my day. I get notified about this. I was getting ready to go home. But no such luck. Go out to this patient's house. And when you have a PICC line dressing, right? It's what we call tegaderm or an occlusive dressing. And it's a clear plastic sticky piece. Clear plastic, very thin plastic, very malleable. And it's sticky on one side. It's got like, I don't know what to call them, like support pieces of paper to help you get it on the dressing. But when I get, oh, and then on the sticky side, it has a layer you have to remove in order for the adhesive to be exposed, right? So I get there, and this patient has this dressing, right? The piece that comes off to expose the adhesive, right, is still on. And also the dressing is upside down on top of this patient's PICC line. So I had to take all of that off and redo his PICC line dressing, which is fine. It's, you know, only takes a couple minutes, but it is a sterile procedure. And it's like, look, I'm not God's gift to nursing. I'm not here to call anyone out. But it's, you know, I think I think this nurse is just inexperienced at home care and had a bad day and thought that you know, that's okay. Everybody makes mistakes sometimes. So I'm just glad that I was able to get out there and get that patient straightened out. I think we are losing him as a patient based on what he stated. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. Can't win them all. It was just not the best way to end my day. So, that's what it is. I don't blame the patient at all because the patient has had multiple PICC line dressing changes, right? Like, he knows that layer doesn't go there. If this is the dressing, right? If my hand is the dressing and this is the adhesive side, the layer you have to peel off to expose the adhesive side has multiple, like, green writing all over it, green labeling. Patient knows that's not supposed to be there. He's had multiple PICC lines, multiple PICC line dressing changes, and so I think, you know, new nurse kind of got frustrated at what was going on, and just went a little too quickly. And by new nurse, I mean new, the company. I don't know how long she's been a nurse. Right, and home cares, you know, can be a little daunting at first. But it's a super great job. Anybody else have any exciting adventures today? Like an upside down PICC line dressing? And stubborn patience? Let's see, where are we at here? Oof. Your wife will be having a home care nurse coming in starting next week. Well, I hope they treat you very well and do a very good job. I don't think I knew that your wife was sick. Sorry to hear that. You're learning stalls with contact staff? You're learning stalls with contact staff. What does that mean? You think it's exciting? I'm glad you find it exciting. Right. Alright, so something I mentioned at the beginning of... Why am I grabbing another ring? What am I doing? We're not adding rings at this point. We're just connecting these ones. So, I noted at the beginning of the stream that the juggling balls I have created here are not round, right? And I think the reason for that is that I just used the triangles. I think that had I taken the Trinity triangles and... Why do I keep grabbing rings? My goodness, get away from me. If I had... the problem is that the triangles are isosceles triangles. And I think that John said it was an icosahedron or some such thing. And I was thinking about it, and I think that in order to make a round juggling ball from Trinity, you would need to make a triangle and then extend a rectangle out from that triangle, right? I don't have a pen or a piece of paper. I can't draw on that. I had a Sharpie somewhere. Right. Let's see if I can explain it real quick. So this is like the Trinity triangle I started with. Okay, and you would need to extend it out a little rectangle. And this seam, right, that I have for the triangles would be found on all the way around, excluding this part right here. And I think that that shape would get you a round juggling ball, whereas using triangles alone clearly does not, right? You're learning how to stop the staff and have it balance on the back of your hand. Oh, cool. Okay. That statement makes more sense now. All right. So if I ever make another Trinity set of juggling balls, or another juggling ball set out of the Trinity Chainmail weave, I would like to make them round, and that is going to be my first attempt in doing it. I think that's the right way. So, but it's not, I'm probably not gonna ever make another set of juggling balls. Unless I sell these. I don't know. I'm not particularly, like I have a bunch of beer steins and coffee cups that I've wrapped that I'm pretty fond of, and a lot of wine bottles that I'm pretty fond of. If you're not round, do you think they look cool as is? I think they look cool too. Like, I feel like these came out super great for just kind of a random project, you know? It's, what can I make with what I have on hand, right? And I'm gonna... Oh, that's where that's from. That is what we were using this bin for. Okay. So I probably misspoke earlier in the stream when I had this empty Hillshire Farms deal here. Ah. Alright, there's gotta be a better way. How did we do it last time? That is not, no. Okay. Uh-oh. Everybody all right? We're gonna try it this way. See if we can kind of fill up as much as we can and then close it up. And then fill it up some more and then close like the last couple of rings. And if it doesn't work this way, I will have to close it all the way up and open up the end. That is how we did the other two. I'm trying to get creative. Hang on a sec. If I do this and then this, right? Do I have tape? Tape? Tape. All right. Should have figured this out the other day. Alright. I am filling them with little 6mm glow-in-the-dark BBs. I'll show you the bag in a second. I'm not adventurous to just pick this I'm not adventurous enough to just pick this up and pour it in, but I really want to. Yeah, they're airsoft BBs. I know the doohickeys. This would have shortened one of my streams the other night by like 45 minutes. And we just have to make sure that it weighs 9.3 grams. Do it. Okay. Rick filled you in? Okay. Alright. Now, the question becomes, can I close it without having all of these pour out? And then get to a point where I only have to add in. Alright. Don't drop it. What was the other? Oh. That's not correct. There we go. And why? I don't know why I just took this ring out. Of course I made it harder on myself. Why wouldn't I do that? There it is. Ah, ridiculous, ridiculous. Ah, don't do that. I've lost one so far. It's not too bad. So over the weekend, I got the chance to watch the new Eye of the World series by Amazon Prime, and I gotta say, I am pretty excited. It looked very like someone took the time to read the books and figure out, you know, who needed to do what. I think the casting's pretty good. All kind of spot on with the image I had of the characters in my head. Alright, now from this point, this is going to be a little bit trickier. This is going to be like adding them one by one or something. If we can do this. Get back in there. So I stayed up late Saturday night watching it and then watched it again Sunday morning, and new episodes come out every Friday. So I'm pretty excited about that. I don't know if anyone has ever read the Eye of the World series. It's pretty... I know a lot of people have read it. I don't know if... That won't work. Oh my goodness, okay. Alright, this is very tedious and not nearly as fun as making chainmail. Hi Barb, have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. I always love it when you guys show up, I really do. Oh man. I am putting these in here one by one. This is not ideal, but let's see here. Make this a little bit tighter. I might be able to get some more use out of it. Oh, this music's killing me. Okay, a little bit faster now. Oh, lost one. Find those with the vacuum later. Well, it's just not gonna work. These things bounce around like a freaking pinball. Alright. Uh-oh, uh-oh. They're all in the funnel. What happened? Oh. Ha. Okay. Well, I tried. I thought that was going so well there for a minute, too. Oh, you... Okay, that one's gone. You had your first experimentation with tumbling stainless steel shot in July or August, and you cats still occasionally find little balls to bat around? Nice. Yeah. I expect I'll be finding these for a while. I've dropped a bunch of them, but it could have been worse. Thinner pair of pliers. Damn it. Alright, now here's where it's going to get interesting, because it's starting to get really tight in here. I'm going to keep pushing these in. And then hopefully not lose any when I go to close this up. Oh. It's gone. Just don't do what you did and use a nearly full bag of rings to attempt to swat a fly. Oh man. I remember when I first got my tumbler, I had this like mixture of undesirable rings, right? And they'd all been kind of collected together in the same container for years, and I never really thought much about it. I was like, alright, well, you know, maybe I can make something useful from these rings. A lot of the stainless ones came out great. They worked wonderfully afterwards, after they were cleaned up, polished up a bit. A lot of them weren't. I'm gonna get some ceramic media to try and get rid of the burrs on those, try and make them usable. See if that works. I don't know. We're getting somewhere. So I had all these rings of various size, mind you, of various materials, all in one container, and I just threw the whole thing in the tumbler, and it was just a mess. But I eventually got it all separated out. Took me a bit, but I did it. And those, you know, I have not mixed anything into my tumbler since then. Alright, these other juggling balls are pretty tight, so... Oh man, missed. Just straight up missed. Again. This is getting close. But since that fun experiment, most of my tumbling experiments have gone fairly well. I've got some titanium with a bunch of burrs on it that I would love to try and tumble with some ceramic media. And I have a bunch of coffee cups that came with our dishes upstairs that nobody uses, and they're all on the very top shelf. We have a bunch of like decorative coffee cups, or I mean they're functional, but you know they say stuff on them, right? And they're twice as large as the standard coffee cup size that came with. These things are hard to grab. They're twice the size of the standard coffee cup that came with our dish set, right? So I am thinking of smashing those up, throwing a bunch of it into the tumbler, putting some rings in there, and see if we can't deburr some of these titanium rings that I have and make them useful. It'd be nice if they were useful. But they were bought a long time ago. I'm not particularly concerned about it, right? Like, that money's gone. But if I can turn it into something useful by crushing a coffee cup, you know, I would love to get rid of those coffee cups, because all they do is take up unnecessary space, and I don't use them, and I never will. All right, oh, come on, get in your home. This is getting quite tight. This is good. And it's just to see if crushing coffee cups will turn into a useful ceramic media and deburr titanium rings, which I don't know if it will. I have no idea. It might not. And in that case, lesson learned. I'll just throw the whole thing away, because I'll never be able to use those rings for anything. And I'm not going to sit there and hand file each one at all. So if it screws up and doesn't work, oh well. I don't know. You tumble the broken stuff first and clean it up? Yeah. I don't want to be trying to separate rings from fine pieces of ceramic. You know, my filtration process isn't the most technologically advanced. It's an old t-shirt draped over a bucket that I just pour the tumbler into to catch the rings, right? And even that doesn't always work. All right. There's a little give to this, there's a little give to this. Can we do this for a second? We can. Whoa, sorry for smacking the camera around. Get our handy dandy kitchen scale out. Now, right, hang on, if I remove this, I might not be able to hold all the beads in here. 9.2. Yeah, I really want this in a much more stable place. I don't want to knock this over. I mean, is it real important to me that it's, you know, they all match up down to a tenth of a gram? No, but I would like them to be as consistent as I can make them. Oh, we are way over time. Jeez Louise. Alright. Alright, that says 9.3. Now let's see if we can keep these rings in here. Well, this gets... One's trying to get out. Oh, one got out. Come back here, you. All right. Three glow-in-the-dark juggling balls. Ta-da! Voila, it is done. Man. Alright, I gotta clean some of this up, because otherwise I'm gonna end up leaving it out for tomorrow. I don't want to spend half my time cleaning up stuff before I get started. So... Alright, I think that's pretty cool. 3 Trinity juggling balls. Let's see here. I did watch some juggling videos. Right? Kind of like... kind of... Whoa. Kind of figure out what I was doing. And I am not nearly coordinated as some people, but that's them. Oh my gosh, dropping everything. Yeah, okay, it's late. All right, guys, I do appreciate you hanging out with me. Glad we got this project off the table. I've got 1, 2, 3 projects sitting here that we need to get to, as well as dozens of other things that we can do. So, thank you for hanging out. I'm gonna put this stuff away and then go get ready for bed, and I will see you guys tomorrow. You can't juggle for nothing? Yeah, not me either. I used to be coordinated as a kid, but I lost that coordination when I turned 25? Alright. So, if I don't see you tomorrow, I will see you at the latest Wednesday. Alright? I do appreciate you guys hanging out and all the likes, shares, comments, reacts. Right? Makes my day, helps my stream grow. Appreciate each and every one of you. Peg, I'm glad you're safe. You guys all have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you later. Alright?